Hey guys, welcome to another episode of A Diary of a Music Maker. Today I'm going to be writing a piano track that I'm actually kind of collaborating with myself. So I have myself, which is Richard Prynne. As an artist, I produce piano music. I have a piano slowcore artist called To Be Invisible, and I also have another slowcore artist called Faded Moments, and I want to have like a collaboration. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a collaboration between Richard Prynne and Faded Moments, so it's like piano and slowcore, or whether it's going to be piano slowcore with slowcore, basically DIY indie. Really, that's what it is. I'm going to be using my piano. I'm just going to jot down this idea real quick. I don't want to think about it too much. I'm going to use my favorite chord sequence, which is C to F, and I'm going to give it that kind of slowcore vibe, I'm going to turn them into major sevens. So C major 7 to F major 7. Lovely chord progression. It just immediately screams nostalgia, immediately screams awesomeness, and that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to probably see if I can move the webcam over there so you can see it whilst I record in Logic. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I literally just had my mic, you can see it here, there, excuse the mess. I just had my mic pointed at the other wall, not even, just kind of picking up the room because I wanted it to feel like, hey, you're actually just sat in the room with me. I'm not that fussed about timing, I didn't have a click track or anything, I just wanted it to be like a raw, honest performance, kind of capturing me on the piano, which is actually what I used to do with my name, Richard Prynne. I would release solo piano stuff that I would just improvise in the morning. I'd put my Zoom recorder on the piano, improvise it and release it. That's the feel I want, and that's one of the reasons why I love slowcore and alt indie and DIY indie as a thing, because it's like we're just capturing ideas and we're just sharing, and that's the beauty of this. So I've got my piano idea, I've got to think about some vocals and stuff. I've got to be somewhere right now, so I'm going to head and then come back to this. But so far, this is sounding pretty nice and I'm pretty chuffed with it. Okay, I'm back. It's a Monday morning and I am going to be working on this track. I've given it a name, Lifted by Light. I kind of wanted it to be about the fact that my mood when it's a sunny day is drastically different to when it's not a sunny day, and how just being in the light of the sun just completely changes my mood. I'm not going to write a huge amount of lyrics because I don't want this to be a really long song. As you can see, it's only 1 minute 20. That's fine. I'm planning on it just being piano, voice and guitar of some kind. Probably my nylon string acoustic over there. Really minimal production, minimal track. Like I said, this is kind of like lo-fi DIY indie. So let's take a listen to the sound we've got in Logic. So here we go, this is the recording. So it's just perfect because this is what I wanted to get from this, which was this feeling of being in a room and it being a bit muted and a bit distant. It's just great. So let's just give it a little bit of a clean up. Just take the sub 100 frequencies out. At the moment it's in mono, which I'm okay with. Let's load up the compressor just to take down some of these peaks. Turn auto gain off. Just lower the threshold. I don't want this to be a massively hardcore compressor. So it's these peaks here that I'm trying to take down. Da, 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 da. Awesome. I'm actually a little bit nervous because I'm going to be doing some singing. I'm not a good singer by any standards. This is probably another reason why I like lo-fi, because the singing standard is generally sort of achievable by me. Because of the nature of this track, it's kind of a collaboration with myself as another artist. The other artist I'm going to be collaborating with, I think, is going to be the end of our story, which is electric guitar slowcore, but with really whispered vocals. So it's barely sung at all. It's like that type of stuff. Really, just like under the breath, barely singing at all. But I just love it. It feels, honest and raw. And it ties in with a lot of the lyrical content, which for that, the end of our story is a lot to do with struggling with, anxiety and sadness and being a parent and growing old. It's all those subjects which feel a little bit raw and scary, like dealing with loss, that type of thing. So it's all this raw emotional content, which I just think marries beautifully with the recording aesthetic here. So, there's a couple of things I want to do. First one is vocals. Second one is guitar. So I think I'm going to do the vocals first. Now, if you just give me a minute, I'm going to come back because I did write the lyrics down, but I can't find them anywhere. So I'll pop back in a jiffy. Okay, there we go. I've got the lyrics. I couldn't find them, so I just wrote them down again. I mean, you can see why. I panicked because look at the amount of these lyrics here. 4 lines. I am lifted by light. It makes me feel like everything is all right. Really simple, but to the point. Because I'm not aiming with this to be, a lyrical masterpiece. This is just about capturing that very simple idea that a sunny day makes me feel like everything's fine. Even when it's not. Okay, right. Which it is when it's not. Cryptic. Okay, so let's get recording. Need to load up another audio channel and make sure I've got the correct input. Click, 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 click. There we go. I have input recording enabled. I'm not going to do that, but because I want to be able to hear it. So the plan here is to follow that line. I am lifted by light. It makes me feel like everything is alright. Yeah, that's the plan. And then I'll allow the guitar to come in here. Yeah, awesome. I'm really excited now. I'm recording my vocals on this little cheeky Rode shotgun mic, which I forget what it's called actually. I'm really terrible with gear. For me, it's not like, oh, this is the SM57 or the SM58 or this is the other. This is my mic, and this is also my mic, and that is my guitar, and that is also my guitar. Excuse me. So I'm using this mic, little small diaphragm, shotgun mic type thing. Right, here we go. Also, you'll notice it's really low down. So I end up, when I'm recording, I should really just put it on a taller mic. When I'm recording, I end up kind of hunching over the microphone to speak into it. Here we go. Hey, there we go. Let's chop that bit off, and I'm going to normalize this. Boom, there we go. And this is probably going to be embarrassingly loud, so let's drop it down. A little bit of delay there, so let's just adjust this. Only a smidgen of delay. Now, I'm kind of stuck on this because I kind of think to myself, should I bother doing double takes, double tracking this and hard panning left and right? Because I quite like that sound. So as I did 2 takes, I can quite easily test that to see what that would sound like. There we go, and hard pan, hard pan. I am lifted by light. Yeah, I prefer no hard pan. Cool, that sorted that out. Now let's just, I think I've actually pushed it a little bit too far forward with the timing. There. Yeah, I like it to be a little bit delayed. Right, now let's just clean up these little gaps between the voices, which is usually just, I mean, you can do the whole like noise gate thing, which probably is easier, to be honest with you, but I quite like the simplicity of just chopping the audio up. It's not the best workflow, but who cares? Okay. I'm pleased with this so far. I'm thinking I should get my guitar out and start playing this little line on top. I want to keep listening to this because actually I really like it, and I really love this sound of the piano just in the distance. Yes. Let me grab my guitar. Right, so I trained as a guitarist, but after decades of not playing, it's like I've never played guitar before. I think the funny thing is, after years as a professional composer, I've really started rallying against a lot of things. You know, I've really started rallying against heavy, clean focus on production, and I've really rallied against quantizing and tuning. I know it's like, what? Because, I mean, I don't know whether it's directly related to the whole AI stuff or whether it's just because I've spent so much of my time cleaning up stuff that I kind of think, you know what? Sometimes the demo is the best thing, and I think I'm just chasing that all the time. With an out-of-tune guitar, an out-of-tune piano, and some out-of-tune singing, that's it. I know people on YouTube are like trying to make them sound like Bon Iver or Bon Iver, and you know, produce music like Taylor Swift, and that's honourable and awesome. But sometimes you just want to write music that you want to write, and sometimes capturing that in its rawest form is the most fun thing to do, and that is my thing at the moment, just having a huge amount more fun with writing music. Let's get some guitar lines recorded, shall we? I'm gonna try that again. It was a bit too out of tune. Cool. That's a bit delayed. A little bit more. That's the stuff. Again, I'm going to clean this up, take out the lows on the guitar. Probably a bit more, 200. I want to put this into a reverb of some kind. Nothing super special. Oh, no, not silver verb. Oh, maybe I will just use silver verb. Hall. Happy accident. Nice. That's it, massive. You know what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to put a flanger on this to kind of help it feel even more odd. That's better. Okay, cool. I'm only going to do this a couple of times. Let's put it there and there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, if I'm honest with you, I'm not hugely happy with the guitar. Quite like that. If you're not sure, put it up an octave in the pitch shifter. Awesome. The thing I really like about that is it's kind of like I'm saying, yeah, the light's nice and it makes me feel better, but there's that little voice at the back of your head saying, no, it doesn't. You're sad. So let's take a look at the files, because I want to not master this, like I know I'm doing mastering, but master it like the other projects I have under this artist name. So where is it? Faded Moments. So many artists. Oh, actually, I quite like what I've been doing with this. This is the most recent stuff with your apathy. Let's little tape vocals. I don't think I use the little tape vocals. I'll bring them in anyway. And stereo, there we go. So I'm just adding in the channel I put the vocals through. I'm adding the mastering chain. Air quotes mastering chain. It's basically just loudness. Loudness and tapes. Yeah, I'm sure you can hear it now. Okay, right, so that's stereo out. I am lifted by, I am Okay, so all I'm doing here, so for those of you who are listening rather than watching, I am just putting a Pro Q3 on this to kind of squash some of the frequencies a little bit. Quite tempted to be quite brutal with the higher frequencies. Yeah, the issue I have is when you do this with piano, it starts to really like sound a bit rubbish. Kind of distorting a little bit there. So what have I got here? 5 on there. So I could do a sneaky little trick, couldn't I? I could try doing some sidechain compression. I could change the signal, audio to, yep, let's try it. There we go, that works pretty nicely. I'm also going to shove a Pro Q3 on this piano. And I wonder as well if I can notch out the really high frequencies in this piano. Do I now need to take off the sidechain? I've also got, I don't know if you've noticed, I've got a pitch shifted octave vocals on the top line of the... I wonder, this is something really nice, and I really love the vocals being this close, but I wonder how it would feel if the vocals felt further away. The problem I have at this point in the in the stage of production, especially when I'm recording these, is that I start to feel myself getting critical, which in itself isn't a terrible thing. But then when I know myself, when I start getting critical, the flow of enjoyment and production just slows. So I'm trying my best to kind of like get past this. I'm recording and there's people watching and just let myself do this. Oh, nice. See, that's cool. That's closer to what I was originally thinking. Let's put it through a little. But it's not. Oh, yay. Yeah, I really like this. Again, just to kind of put it in context, have I got, blimey, all these massive files. Project ND, Faded Moments. This is kind of where I'm going with the rest of the album. So, and then there's this one. I mean, it could. I mean, I could like lift up the vocals because actually they're quite present in the other tracks. Yeah, I think that sits quite nicely with the rest of the tracks. I mean, I'm going to export this first, so let's select all. Oh wait, yeah, that's faded out. Let's just create a track automation volume fade out at the end, just to know where we go. Oh, blimey. Sliding that whole thing along. There we go. Done. Right, select that, bounce that. This is going to be called Lifted by Light, and I'm going to save it under there. Void Seer, no, this isn't Void Seer, this is album Apathy. Lifted by Light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th track. This is the album. Right, whilst that's bouncing, I'll have a chat. The thing with this stuff is I've started to embrace the 7-track album, because that's the least amount of tracks you can have for an album. I still love albums. And I know you might be thinking, well, that's an EP, isn't it? And well, technically, no, a 6-track thing is an EP and a 7-track is an album. But I'm starting to really embrace that, because not only does it sort of give me less tracks to produce per album, because actually once you get from 7 to 10, one starts to think about the tracks sounding the same and worry about all this stuff. But 7 tracks seems to be quite a magic number of, actually you can produce these tracks that have a similar vibe to them and not get too bogged down in anything else. And also it still reminds me of the first time I heard Weezer's Blue album. I've talked about this before. When I first heard Weezer's Blue album with 10 tracks, I was used to at least 13 tracks. I was like, what? This is rubbish. Why is it only 10 tracks? Then I played it and it finished and I went, well, I want to listen to this whole thing again and 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 again. And that's the idea, that you get to the end of an album and you go, oh, I want to listen to this again. It leaves you wanting more. And as a producer, it leaves me wanting to make more. Because, coming back from my trailer music writing, if I'd produced a 10, 12, 13 track trailer album, I'd come to the end of that album. It's a lot more work than this is, obviously, but I'd come to the end of that album and go, right, I don't want to do that again. That was hard and tiring. Whereas this, I come back, I have 7 tracks like this one. I finish this one, I go, well, this is great. I've still got that buzz and I've still got that excitement for making more music. So there is something to be said for writing less, so doing a collab album or releasing EPs or singles. And I could just do that. I could just release singles with 3 tracks, and maybe that's the way forward instead of just going albums. I do like it when you log on to an artist's profile on one of the streaming platforms and you see that they've got albums. When I log on and I just see they've got singles and EPs, I feel a bit like, oh, because I don't want to click on each single to see because they're often just one track. Whereas when you go an album, you go, oh yeah, let's check out this whole album, and you listen to the album. Whereas singles and EPs, I don't tend to do that. So we'll see. But I'm really pleased with this. I'm going to sort of take all 7 tracks and have a listen to them together in one Logic session. But at this stage, Lifted by Light and the album Apathy, really pleased with it. It's Faded Moments featuring, I think it's probably featuring me, Richard Prynne, Doi. I could have done another one where it's featuring other slowcore artists, but at this stage, it's just nice to do that, to kind of bring me into the fold a little bit. Because at the moment, although I am a trailer music composer and a production music composer by trade, if you go onto streaming profiles, it's all my piano music. And it's not all my piano, epic piano. It's me playing that like I've recorded this. Really rough demo stuff recording. So it's nice to kind of bring myself into the fold a little bit more. With this, I would probably say to you, this is really embracing the idea of just producing music that you like, and don't think about, what other people are going to say. People could lay into this, and probably will, about the fact I'm basically just producing low quality music, air quotes, low quality music. But if it fills me with joy, and hopefully one person gets joy out of listening to it or joy out of watching me produce it, then that is completely worthwhile. I am lifted by
Everything is alright.